My mom called me fat. That's right, but the truth is I know I'm beautiful. So when I discovered that she's been force-feeding me weight gain pills just so I would look fatter than her at her wedding, I absolutely went ballistic, but I didn't let her know that I found out, because I decided I'm going to do something a lot worse. I'm going to ruin her wedding, and you won't believe how I'm going to do it. I don't know who else would go with this matter. I just wish I could tell my grandma, but she's having high blood pressure. She would just end up arguing with my mother and then getting sick. So I've decided to rant on the interwebs. Hopefully you guys have something to say that'll make me feel better about myself, because lately I've been feeling very low. My self-esteem is in the pits and I feel so demotivated. My mother is getting married. I should be happy for her, however I'm not happy for her. I hate the fact that she's taken over my personality and my wardrobe. I feel as if she does nothing original in her life, and it bothers me a lot because all I want from her is to be my mom. My mother does not want me to call her mom. She wants me to call her Jenna. See, she had me when she was 16, and I'm now that age. I'll be going to college in a few months, and I look forward to this because I'll be away from her. Staying with her is a nightmare, and I just wish that I was still staying with my grandmother. However, my mom requested for me to stay with her when I was 10 years of age. My grandmother could do nothing about it, and I was forced to move in with my mom. My time with my mother has been terrible. See, my mother does not treat me like a child. She treats me like I'm the same age as her. She's not strict with me and does not care what I do. While my friends have been envious of this personality trait of hers, it's made me suffer. This means that she's often neglected her monthly duties. She's acted like she's childless and still very young. She prefers me to call her my sister. Many people don't actually know that she's my mom. One of those people who does not know this is her soon-to-be husband. My mother's 34, but she wants to be 25. I say this because of the way that she dresses and acts, and I'm sure that her new fiancé does not even know her real age. He's wealthy and well-respected of a dentist. He has a house, assets, and reputation. She's been seeing him for about 6 months, and they're already getting married. He has no idea what he's getting himself into, poor guy. Ever since her engagement has been announced, she had become twice as insufferable. She's always dieting and tweaking her looks, and she's never satisfied with the way that she looks. It would have been fine if she just focused on her looks, and I don't get why she has to drag me into it. More than once, she made comments about my appearance. She feels as if I'm not classy enough. She wants me to change the way that I look so that I can fit into her new life. I just long for the day that I go to college so I don't have to deal with this anymore. It's not even her comments about my clothes and style that bother me. It's the things that she says about my weight. See, I've always had an average weight. I've never had problems with my weight or my looks, and I've had an adequate amount of confidence during my teenage years. Over the past few months, my mother has made me feel terrible about my weight gain recently. I don't know why, but I'm gaining weight. I've done some research and it's been attributed to stress. This could be accurate because I've been under a ton of it lately. I'm in the final year of high school, therefore I have a lot of assessments to complete. In addition to that, I have to be at my mother's beck and call when she's planning her wedding. I have to run errands 24/7 because she's too lazy to do it herself. I get little to no thanks and a lot of criticism, and I can just never do anything right. She's always making me do things over and over again, which is driving me bonkers. I've barely had enough time to do anything that I love. I've not really been eating a lot, so I don't know why I'm gaining weight. Or maybe I've not been paying attention to what I've been eating. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much to me. A little bit of weight gain has never hurt anybody. Besides, I'm getting older, it's bound to happen. My mother does not think the same way. She has made this new development in life, saying it's insufferable, and every once in a while she'll tell me that I'm gaining weight and starting to look like a pig. Imagine one own's mother calling her a pig. It's very hurtful, and I've told her not to do this multiple times, and in response she just laughs and calls me insensitive, and, well, she then asked me if she needed to put me in therapy because of the way that she was treating me. She doesn't say all these things because she cares. She says all these things just to display how weak I am. I constantly feel like I'm in a competition with her, even though she is my mom. I don't want to feel like that. I just want her to be warm towards me for once. I just want her to care about what is happening in my life for once. I just need her to hug me and tell me that everything's going to be okay. But instead, she tells me everything that's wrong with me and makes me feel worse about myself. I become very depressed and prone to crying. Of course, I never cry in front of her because if I dared to do so, she would rip me into pieces and make me feel even worse. I think that I'm at a breaking point. I don't think that she deserves me to help her out with her wedding anymore. What's the point in helping her out when she never takes my suggestions seriously? Why should I help her out when she's never thankful? She treats me like a glorified personal assistant and I'm tired of it. I'm just counting down the months till I can leave. Once I leave, I really doubt that I go back. I'll make every excuse possible to spend my holidays with my grandmother because I doubt that she'll notice that I'm not there. After all, she has her new life and her rich dentist to look forward to, and I just feel that she's looking to get rid of me. Instead of just getting rid of me quietly, she wants to break me down before she does so. Is my mother a narcissist? I've often thought about that question. But I just don't want to think about such things when it comes to the woman who gave birth to me. I've tried to be grateful that she actually even let me live. How pathetic is that? Yeah, that's the life that I live and I'm tired of it. I have a conundrum on my hands and I need your help in deciding what to do. I'm considering telling her that I'm not going to be helping her with her wedding planning anymore. In fact, I want to tell her that I might not be attending her wedding because of the way that she's been treating me. She condescendingly tells me that if I keep on gaining weight, she's going to have multiple alterations done to my dress. I don't want to face humiliation in front of her anymore. It's just getting too much and it's starting to suffocate me. Guys, if you were in my position, what would you do? Would you tell your mother the truth despite the looming consequences, or would you just bite your tongue and endure it? The truth is that I don't know how much longer I can hold on. Every day, things get worse between us, and I don't want to get to the point of hating my own mother, but I'm very, very close. I need help because I'm truly defeated. In a few days, my grandmother is coming to visit, and I look forward to it. See, my mother is not always as snarky when grandmother is around. My grandmother is the only person who's able to put her in her place, and with grandma here, we're able to get a few moments of a reprieve. Maybe I should talk to my mother while grandmother is here. That way she can't overreact when I tell her that I'm done with her nonsense. What do you think that I should do? Well, should I wait till my grandmother gets here? What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. Oh man, so I want to read these two comments and I want to see your perspective on them because this story is heating up. The first comment says, OP, I think you're right. Your mother is a narcissist. She feeds her ego by making you feel less, and I don't think you deserve that. You're too young to be dealing with her identity crisis, and the fact that she doesn't even want you to call her mother is a red flag. So, what will she do when a fiancé finally finds out that you are not her sister but her daughter? I feel like your mother resents you for taking up her youth. She's trying to live your life while making you suffer. This is not fair to you. I think that you should talk to her about this. Do it when your grandmother's there, because it appears that your grandmother is the only person who can put Jenna in her place. I wish you luck, OP. Your mother does not seem like an easy person to deal with. Comment number 2 is a little bit different, guys. It says this. I don't think that moving back in with your mother was a good idea. You seem to have a stronger bond with your grandma than you do with your mom. Your mother did not raise you from the beginning, so you lack a bond. I feel that your grandmother should have fought harder for you to stay with her. What's the point in staying with your mother if she can't even treat you like her kid? It must be incredibly upsetting for you to be treated this way. Is it perhaps possible for you to ask grandma to allow you to stay with her? You're 18 now, right? You should be allowed to make your own choices. The way your mom has been treating you could be the reason why you're feeling the stress. On the other hand, it might be worth it to consider family counseling with your mom. Maybe she's just taking out her frustrations on you, because she has not dealt with her past feelings. It's not going to be easy for both of you, but I know that things will get better. Just try to have a heart-to-heart with her and consider therapy. It might help you to build a relationship with her. Update number 1. Oh, guys, it's been 2 days since my initial post, and here I am with another rant about my mom. I swear my mother was a mean girl in her past life. I can't believe that she would say such things. She has no regard for how her words affect people. If being self-unaware was a person, it would be her. I took your guys' advice and decided to speak to her once grandmother was here. I told her that I had a lot on my plate and did not think that I would be able to help her with the wedding as much as she wanted. Well, she called me lazy and said that I was not doing anything much in the first place. My grandmother gave her a stern look at that point. She then told my mother that she was considering not even giving her the present she brought for her. At that mention of a present, my mother completely forgot about me and focused on Grandma. She loves presents and flashy things, so it was to be expected. See, after having begged my grandmother to show her this present, Grandma complied. She brought in a bag with her from her room. When she opened it up, it contained a stunning wedding dress. Although the dress was a bit vintage, it was definitely gorgeous. With a few alterations, it would be a stunning wedding dress. When my mother saw the dress, she started laughing. She asked Grandma if she actually thought my mother would wear such a dress to her wedding. She called the dress vintage, archaic, and trashy. I didn't even think the word archaic was in my mom's vocabulary. It turns out that when she wants to insult people, she can be very creative. I say insulting people because she was actually insulting my grandmother and not the dress. I highly doubt that this was about the dress. It was about who the dress came from. See, my grandmother is not that old. She's in her early 50s. She got married about 30 years ago, so the dress isn't even old. All the things that my mom said about the dress were not true. I tried to weigh in on it and say that I thought the dress was beautiful. Jenna told me that of course I thought it was beautiful. I would think it was beautiful because I have no style. She tells me to keep the dress if I wanted it so bad, since it would fit me and not her anyways. Maybe she meant it as an insult, but I did not feel insulted at all. Well, I asked her if she was really certain, and she said yeah. So I gladly took Grandmommy's dress. Who knows, maybe in a couple of years I'll be getting married. I can't begin to describe how beautiful the dress is. It's beautifully crafted, really. The material's expensive and long-lasting, and it's definitely much better than anything my mother could ever get. I know her style, and she can be quite tacky. Of course, nobody would ever say that to her face. She thinks that she's the most fashionable person in town, when that's far from the truth. Anyways, her loss is my gain. The dress has definitely cheered me up. It will make it easier for me to put up with my mother for the next few weeks till the wedding. Let's just see how the wedding goes. Update number 2. Hey guys, it's me again. I'm back with an update. That's right. So, it's been 3 weeks and I'm absolutely furious. I can't believe that I've been so blind. I didn't see what was happening right in front of me, and now it makes sense why I've been feeling so tired, fatigued, and bloated. The whole time, my mother was sabotaging me. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but bear with me. Remember how I told you that I've been gaining weight unexpectedly? Well, it turns out that my dear mother has been giving me weight gain pills. How did I find out about this? Well, it was after I decided to go and raid her snacks. My mother is on a diet, but I don't know what she keeps some snacks in her room for, but I know where they're at. She thinks I don't know about them, but I've been raiding her snack collection for years now. She hardly notices, and I like to think of it as my little revenge for her snide remarks throughout the day. It was too late in the night for me to go out and buy something, so I decided to check her room. She was not home per usual. She spent the night at her fiancé's house, claiming that she was getting used to the layout as she would be the new lady of the house soon. So, I decided to raid her room for some snacks, and I was feeling extremely weak and hungry. It had been happening so often over the past few months, I suddenly felt weak, hungry, and tired. Sometimes when I ate something, I'd start to feel better, and I was in the middle of studying, so I decided to go and grab a quick little snack. I love snacky snacks. And then get back to it. As I was looking through the snack coverage, I discovered something very interesting, guys. A box of pills. They were very familiar to me. One thing about me is that I'm a nerd when it comes to biology. It's my favorite subject in school. I often do research outside of school for it, and I remember learning about malnutrition and the ways in which it's treated around the world. One of the ways is to give a person a pill that gives them an appetite so they'll eat. It's often used for people who struggle with getting an appetite, and guess who had those pills in her drawer? My mother. My mom's trying to lose weight, not gain it, so why would she have these? There was only one explanation. It was that she was using it on me. Suddenly, everything made crystal clear sense. She must have done this to me to lower my self-confidence, and she was probably scared that I would outshine her at her own wedding. I was disappointed but not surprised by her drastic actions. That woman doesn't like me. She doesn't consider me to be her daughter. She considers me her competition. Since she thinks that I'm such a threat to how she's going to look at her wedding, I'm going to show her why. I don't know how I'm going to handle this, but I do know that she'll learn a lesson. There was no need for her to do this to me. It's affected me physically and mentally, and I've tried going to the gym and eating less. However, my appetite just keeps on growing, and I didn't know why. The whole time it was her. How could somebody be so cruel? I disliked my mother before, but now I hate her with a passion. I don't want to have a good wedding. I don't want her to. I want her to cry on her wedding day. These dark thoughts, they scare me. I have never been a person who has wished ill upon anyone else. She's turning me into something that I did not recognize, guys. If I do anything drastic, it's definitely her fault. I put the pills back where I found them, and I'm not going to let her know that I know her secret. Instead, I'm going to stop eating food that she has prepared or given me. I suspect that this is, the way that she's been feeding me these pills. Now, I just want to go and teach her a lesson. I don't actually know what to do, though, guys, if I'm being honest. Anyways, I will keep you guys updated about whatever I figure out. Update number 3. Hey guys, it's been 3 weeks since my last update, and my mother is getting married tomorrow. She's been insufferable as usual, and I, on the other hand, have been acting like I saw nothing. I've not been eating anything, and, nothing she's touched. Instead, I keep ready-made food in my mini-fridge, and when everyone's asleep, I eat. I've not told my grandmother about it. I've just told my grandmother that things with my mom have worsened. I've told her that I don't think that after the wedding I can stay here anymore. My grandmother has not questioned me much, and I feel as if she could have sensed the tension when she was here. She has told me that she'll make plans so that I can live with her. Finally, I'm going to stay with my grandma, and I don't care what my mother says about it. If she even dares to try to say something, I will report her for what she did to me. I'm pretty sure that feeding someone appetite pills without their permission is illegal. I should report her, but it would be too easy. She would probably get out of it, of the guilt, tripping me into dropping the charges. This doesn't mean that I'm letting it go, though. No, I'm going to let her see how it feels to struggle with body dysmorphia. Despite the way that she scrutinized her own body, she always had a good figure. She never had to struggle with a bit of extra weight or an even weight distribution. Because of that, she's often body-shamed friends and acquaintances alike. I felt embarrassed when she spewed hate against people who did nothing to her. How she even has friends is a mystery to me. What I've planned for her is going to affect her confidence. She's going to question how highly she thinks of herself, and I'm not going to harm her in any way, or she's done to me. See, I'm just going to show her a looking glass. And trust me, what she sees is not going to be very pretty. The great part is I'm going to do all this to her publicly. One thing she cares about is how people view her. She acts like she does not care, but she cares more than anyone. She wants to be liked, admired, and envied, and she does everything she can to fit in and be loved. Honestly, my mother is a very sad human being. It's shocking how I come out of such a person. What I do know is that I'm thankful that she did not raise me. I'm sure if she had raised me, I would have become just as vapid as she is. Honestly, staying with her has made me quite cynical. I feel like if I continue to stay with her, I'll become just like her. I'll become bitter and belittle others just to make myself feel better. Before that happens, I'm going to teach her a lesson, and then I'm going to leave. I already have my bags packed, and she has no idea. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Update number 4. Hey guys, it's been 3 months since my last update, and this one's a major one. My mother has kicked me out and taken away my college fund, but I feel happy. I feel like I could dance on clouds. This is the happiest of my life, and I never thought I'd see a day where she got humbled. But thanks to her little antics, she got embarrassed in front of everyone. It's 3 months since the wedding, and it was a very eventful of an affair. A lot of things were revealed about my mother to her fiancé, yet he stayed. But he soon realized that she would never change. My mother's wedding day got ruined early in the morning when she realized that her wedding dress simply did not fit anymore. Well, that's because I did her the courtesy of washing it before her wedding. The dress was made out of material that needed to be hand-washed. It did the opposite of that. The drink got shrunken to the size of an 8-year-old. My mother was fuming and running around like a headless chicken the whole time. Finally, I offered her the wedding dress that my grandmother had given to me. She knew that she would have a decent wedding dress at that time, so she had someone come in to do the minor alterations on it, and she wore the dress. She actually did not even look that bad. It was clear that the dress was not her size, but she looked pretty decent. She kept on looking at me and giving me dirty looks, but I ignored it. After she had gotten married, she came and confronted me. She told me that she knew I had something to do with it, and I was the only one with access to the dress. I did not even deny it. I told her it was revenge for the way that she had been feeding me those appetite pills for months. To say she was shocked would be an absolute understatement. She told me that she'd had enough of me and she needed me out of the house completely. And I just told her I already packed my bags and was moving in with Grandma. That was when she made a big mistake. She came closer to me as if she was whispering something to me, and when she pinched me with her long nails, I felt her nails go right through my skin. She told me that I was nothing, and that this stunt was a big mistake. She also told me she was going to take away my college fund. Knowing that I had basically lost everything, I decided that she had to too. So I walked away and went straight to her fiancé. I then told him that, by the way, I was actually her daughter, not her sister. Also told him that she was not in her late 20s, as she claimed. She's 34. I left him flabbergasted, and then I took my grandmother and we walked out of there. We headed straight to the house where I packed my things and we left. We've been living in harmony for the past few months. I've started college and I visit Grandma as often as possible. And as for my mother, her marriage lasted less than 3 months before her husband filed for divorce. I have no idea why he did that. I assume that she drove that poor man until he went mad, and then he decided that he had had enough. My friends told me that Mother moved back into her old house but has not left it in the past few weeks. I didn't feel sorry for her. I know whatever led to the end of her marriage was her own fault. She has this thing where she cannot allow anything good to happen in anyone's life. Well, nobody would want to be married to someone like that. Kudos to the dentist for dumping her before it was too late. If he did not, she was going to reduce him into a pathetic version of himself. I do hope for his sake that he got a prenup because she surely loves money. I hope that she realizes that the reason she'll all alone in that house is her own fault. Anyways, I don't care anymore. I'm just happy with Grandma, and that's enough for me. Lastly, I just want to thank everybody who made it to the end. So, goodbye. Let's read this comment. It is from Ruth Woods. Good for you, OP. I'm glad that you finally stood up to her after so many years of being bullied. She deserves every single thing that she's got and more. It's very funny that this marriage she prioritized over your own happiness didn't even last. Did she really think that somebody was just going to put up with her and her attitude for so many years? It didn't even last 3 months, and it just goes to show that she's a problem, not you. I'm hoping that college is treating you well. I'm happy that you moved out and your grandmother supported you. She is your real mom, not Jenna. I hope that when she's old and gray, you take care of her as she's taking care of you. It's rare to find such a mother figure in someone who is not your biological mom. You're truly lucky to have your grandmother in your life, and you're clearly better off with her than the toxic house with Jenna. Guys, that was a nice comment, but there's another one I want to share with you, and I just have to know what you think about this one because it got a lot of attention. OP, I'm happy that you've moved out of your mother's house. I can't imagine how this whole situation has taken a toll on your mental health. I understand that you're frustrated with your mom for her actions. However, I don't agree with the way you handled this. You decided to stoop very low, and in doing so, you sacrificed your grandmother's dress. She gave you that dress so you can wear it one day, but instead you let your mother, you hate to wear it? Other than that, I understand where you're coming from. You've had to deal with this toxicity for years now, and I can only imagine the stress that it's caused you. I'm glad that you're happy and away from your mom now. Good luck at college. School must definitely be easier now that you're not in such a toxic household. As for your mom, you definitely handled her well. So that was a little bit of criticism, but it wasn't too bad. Let me know what you think about that. Drop it down below, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Mr. Reddito, and I narrate stories like this every day, and I promise you will never know what we're going to come across. I'm talking infertility stories, cheating stories, wedding stories, Karen stories, HOA stories. I mean, it goes on and on because everywhere in this world there's going to be drama. So there's a lot to cover. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow, and of course remember, it's cool to be kind. Peace.